The job is usually pretty straightforward. People stop paying their bills, and I come in to clear out what's left behind. Most of it is junk, memories someone decided weren't worth the monthly fee. It's a lonely, dusty job. Unit 734 looked like all the others at first glance. The lock was rusted, the door groaned on its tracks. Inside was the usual chaos: stacked boxes, old furniture under a dusty sheet, and the faint smell of mothballs and decay. I spent the whole day hauling everything out. The work was grueling, a monotonous cycle of lifting, carrying, and dumping. By 5 o'clock, the concrete floor was bare, echoing with emptiness. I swept it clean and locked up for the night. The next morning, my keycard buzzed me through the gate as usual. I walked down the long, quiet hall to Unit 734 to grab my tools and move on. But something was wrong. There was a new heavy-duty padlock on the latch. I called my boss, but he said nobody else had been there. He gave me the go-ahead to cut the lock. When I rolled up the door, my stomach dropped. It was full again. Every box, every dusty sheet was back exactly where it had been. It had to be a prank. Some elaborate joke by my coworkers, I thought. But who had the time or the money to haul all that junk back from the dump and arrange it perfectly? It made no sense, but it was the only explanation. I called my boss again, trying to explain. He just sighed, the sound crackling over the phone. He told me to stop wasting time and just clear the unit, that he was billing the client for a second day. He didn't believe a word, so I cleared it again. Every single piece. This time, I was meticulous. I took pictures of the empty unit on my phone before I left. I even took a video, panning across the bare concrete floor as undeniable proof of my work. The third morning was a nightmare. The same lock, the same cluttered room. I frantically pulled out my phone, my heart pounding. But when I opened my gallery, the photos from yesterday were gone. In their place were pictures of the full unit. This wasn't a prank. My own phone, my own proof, had turned against me. It felt like the world was gaslighting me, rewriting reality behind my back. I felt a cold, sharp panic I had never known before, a feeling of absolute helplessness. I had to try something else, something physical that couldn't be digitally altered. I grabbed a pry bar from my truck. Going back inside the unit, I found a large wooden crate and carved a deep, jagged X into its lid. There, let the room erase that. I finished clearing the unit for the third time, leaving only the marked crate in the center of the floor. It felt like a challenge, a dare to whatever force I was dealing with. I slammed the door shut. On day 4, I didn't even bother with the lock. I just stared at the closed door, my breath catching in my throat. When I finally found the courage to open it, the room was full. I scrambled to the crate. The lid was perfectly smooth. Everything was the same, yet it wasn't. It was a subtle shift, a sense of wrongness I couldn't place at first. A stack of newspapers was tied with a different kind of string. A dusty old book on a stack of boxes was open now. I picked up the book. It seemed to be a diary. The handwriting was shaky, and the entry on the open page was short. It read, "It puts things back. It doesn't like change." A cold wave washed over me. This wasn't just a glitch or a loop. The words in that diary felt like a message, a warning from someone else who had been trapped here. The room wasn't just resetting, it was curated by something. My mind raced. The room rejected my mark. It altered my photos. What would it do with something of mine? Before I left that day, after clearing it all out again, I took off one of my work gloves and left it on the floor. The next morning, day 5, I knew what to expect. The full unit. I scanned the contents, searching for my glove. It wasn't there. Not on the floor, not in a box, nowhere. The room had removed it. It rejected what wasn't part of its collection. That's when I truly saw it. In the back corner, partially hidden by a stack of hat boxes, stood a mannequin. It was a simple, featureless female form draped in a dusty dress. I'd seen it before, but had dismissed it as just more junk. I walked closer, my boots crunching on unseen debris. The mannequin was old, made of that heavy, chipped plaster. Its painted face was faded, but its eyes, simple black dots, seemed to follow me. A shiver ran down my spine. I cleared the room again, my eyes constantly returning to the figure in the corner. On day 6, I opened the door and knew instantly. The mannequin had moved. Its head, which had been facing forward, was now turned slightly toward the door. It wasn't just its head. Its whole posture was different. One of its plaster hands, previously at its side, was now raised slightly, palm facing outward. It looked like it was telling me to stop or to stay back. A silent warning. My hands shaking, I found the diary again. It was on a different box this time. I opened it to the bookmarked page, but the entry had changed. It now read, "It sees him. It is trying to warn him." I couldn't just leave. I had to know. That night I didn't go home. I hid in the empty unit next door, leaving the dividing roll-up door open just a crack. I sat in the cold, silent darkness, waiting for midnight, waiting for the reset. Midnight arrived with an oppressive silence. Then a sound started from Unit 734. It wasn't a grinding of gears or a magical shimmer. It was a low, resonant hum, like a deep, world-weary sigh that vibrated through the concrete floor. I pressed my eye back to the crack, expecting to see boxes flying through the air, but the room was still. The humming stopped. In the center of the unit, the mannequin stood, no longer in the corner. It slowly turned its head to look right at me.